Greetings and welcome to Shadowstar with the not so intelligent Captain Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, for this Star Trek Online intelligence review video, where I take a quick look over what is up and coming. With this being said, there's a lot to unpack here, so this might not be the quickest review. Also, yay, the insult I've received in the past is running true for once-ish. Wasn't actually accurate the first time, won't be accurate so much this time. Let's throw in the questions what we got here. Right, first of all, this is part of the Angel Wakes lockbox. And we'll finally get to fly Book's frigate. Okay, this is relatively nice. We'll also finally have access to the 32nd century phasers, I do believe. Hopefully, because we have been predicting this lockbox would come. I'm a little bit concerned about the name of the lockbox, but hey, let's be careful with it. Either way. Side things to note before we get into this is, let's keep in mind the last ship they gave us, the Jovian Raider. Well, anyone who remembers the 10 forwards about that, Cryptic was bragging then that it will become the new predominant favourite raider because it was so good and so different. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, Cryptic. I'm going to slam this one right at you right now. There's a reason why I didn't bother doing a proper review of it and why I only did an intel review. It's because that ship was actually worse than many raiders that have come out beforehand. Now, we've got a pilot freighter. I believe we've not really had a freighter before, but we have got similar ships that are in the same sort of classification ballpark. Also, with being in pilot ship, I'm predicting low armor to weigh a bit too similar to a raider. Cryptic. At least we know this ship's going to have a bit more firepower, hopefully. Shall we get on with it? Hopefully we'll have a standout ship here that is a little bit different from what we've been seeing. It is the, I'm going to say KWEJIAN pilot frigate, sorry. Relatively nimble, I've heard. It has a very unique ability as well, which will be interesting to look into. We will be getting this with the new Angel Wakes lockbox release. No, pretty sure the last Angel's Wake lockbox was the one where we got the buy all ship, so that's interesting. And, well, it's a tier 6 ship with a hull modifier of 1.15, with a shield modifier of 0.8, 5 forward weapons, 3 aft weapons, 3 device slots. Oh, hey! Sounds good so far, right? A base turn rate of 18, impulse modifier of 0.19, inertia rating of 80, plus 10 to weapons, plus 10 to engines with bonus power settings. Able to equip dual cannons, has a battle cloak feature, so that's going to be useful for it. Comes with raider flanking, that's... what? The universal console is Smasher Assembly. It has pilot maneuvers. Its innate ability is Morph Reversal, which is essentially an ability to turn 180 degrees on the spot. And its starship trait is known as Proximity Alert. We'll get into all of this shortly. It has 4 tactical consoles, 4 engineering, 3 science. X upgrading is almost a necessity with what this ship specializes in, but not 100% required. She has 1 Commander Engineering pilot seat, 1 Ensign Universal, 1 Lieutenant Universal, and 2 Lieutenant Commander Universals. So, the Commander seat is an engineering position. That's good for a raider. This ship appears to be a hybrid between what I'm going to say light cruiser and raider. Is the easiest way to explain this ship. It's a definite sort of combination of the two. I say this in the back that it has an, like cruisers normally have, it has commander engineering position, which has pilot specialty to it. It's going to give it some decent combative strength to that. Thanks to all its universal positions, she will be very capable in both tanking, once you heavily upgrade her, because X upgrade with 5 engineering positions in engineering, and you will at least be able to hold tank with her. I wouldn't really recommend shield tanking, though. Support capabilities will be relatively good, but again, that's going to want an X upgrade for that. DPS, you kind of get away with it, but you obviously the X upgrade will give her the extra firepower. She's got quite a good amount of DPS capability thanks to her high maneuverability and brilliant weapon layout. Just one issue. She's essentially the strongest, well, the highest firepower raider we've got, in a sense. This is because of her having 5 forward weapons, as most raiders have seemingly got recently. 4 or 5. But she has 3 aft weapons. Although she doesn't have an experimental weapon slot, this is fine really for her, because this means she can get a good punch out. Like I've noted in a recent review I did, that 5-3 layout kept the scimitar among the top classes of DPS for a very long period, and it's going to very much help this ship out. The high turn rate is going to really bash that level out as well. Happily, because she has at least expanded past 1.1 mildly in hull, she's got some defense capability despite her lacking shields. And that battle cloak and raider flanking is going to really help her deal even more damage. This is a damage orientated ship, if I'm honest, and would be mostly focused towards DPS players. Beyond that, I don't know if I would consider recommending it to anyone who plays tank or anyone who plays support. Those people, I would probably recommend giving this ship a skip. Especially considering, once again, much like the Jovian, for those areas, there are way better options, obviously. As far as DPS goes, there are still better options than this ship. A lot of them, actually. To be fair, this ship is up there. It is pretty good for DPS. But when you take into account, this ship's saving grace is its maneuverability with firepower. It's a very high firepower with very high maneuverability, and it's against other ships with similar maneuverability. A lot of them don't have the same level of firepower. A lot of ships with the same level of firepower don't quite have the same maneuverability. There are certain battle cruisers that get rippingly close. Those are the ones that I would say are the most threat to this ship. There are a couple of other lockbox ships, I should say, that are going to relatively compete with this. As a standard lockbox ship, I will say she's quite good. For the level she's at, she's quite good for cost and what it's going to take to get a hold of her. Hopefully she won't be that expensive on the exchange. But as we go further down, we'll give you an idea of her morphing. She actually does the same morphing when she does her escape ability. You have, well, as you can see from that, it is a straight up 180 degree turn. Great for someone who has just passed by. You can 180 degree turn and keep the enemy in the forward firing arc. This is going to be a decent combination to use if you keep track of what you're doing. Now, the only problem it says here is it draws a massive amount of power, which will disable your weapons on auxiliary subsystems during a period here. But of course, you're getting the benefit of critical hit, critical chance. It's useful if timed and manipulated right. Or should I say, the ship does like to morph itself into a tactical mode, as I'm going to jokingly call it, the Universal Console for Smash Assembly. Now, this is a damage for hull-to-hull impacts. So, yeah. You're going to ram the target. Now, this is kind of funny for me because Ri'shad's last resort, as I used on Lynch once, was basically ramming speed. It's interesting that the animation of this is going into transwarp. Pretty sure this ship would be scattered to the stars if it actually did that, but okay. Well, the console will give you a boost in accuracy, defense, and pilot bridge officer recharge time. I'm not sure if that's great. I'm going to be a bit honest with you. I'm imagining it deals kinetic damage from the ram. Probably it's going to actually deal physical damage. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a great thing about it either. I have questions I want to raise, and none of them are very good. I could be proven heavily wrong. I'm hoping. I'm just underestimating this console, and it's going to turn out to be a really damn good console. One that has like an extremely low miss rate. Like, it guarantees a hit on the target. Hopefully it has an area of effect as well, because no, it's a ramming speed thing, but you create a warp bubble around yourself. Hopefully the warp bubble can damage what's around you, so maybe they'll amp it up. But if I'm honest, I'm skeptical. Now the Starship trait, Proximity Alert, this one gets a bit worse for me. It's kind of a meh trait. The trait slotted, you'll gain scaling benefit from the highest rank among nearby foes once every 5 seconds. This benefit will manifest as bonus defense rating, physical and kinetic damage resistance, and a quick burst of shield and hull restorations, while also reducing outgoing threat generation. If threatening stance is not active, this is. The value of these benefits are based on a high-ranked enemy within close proximity, so the higher the rank of the enemy you're fighting, the greater the benefit you gain from this. Not exactly a great thing, because how often are you up against a dreadnought? This benefit will only trigger if there is a cruiser, battleship, or dreadnought within range. Hopefully this range is 10 kilometers then, because quite frankly, otherwise it's a little bit underwhelming. And even then, that being said, it is still underwhelming. It's a trait which I'll happily give a miss to. Honestly, I'm struggling to see people actually wanting to get this ship. Hey guys, I'm just going to cut myself here and snap me back in. I'm sorry. Just about to talk about the 32nd century phasers. I'm an idiot. It literally says here, these weapons will be available elsewhere in the future. So this ship comes with a cannon variant of the 32nd century phasers. These weapons will, in the future, be a game changer. In the future. Wherein we can get them and we will be able to upgrade them. For now, they're not. So I'm just going to gloss over that and say, hey, thank you for letting us know we're getting cannon variants of these instead of the beam variants that we got with the Voyager J. And we jump to the top. Guys, I know there are people interested in this ship. You want to get a hold of the ship, you think it's a great ship to get. Do you know what? I will say this. It is set out to be a really, really damn good ship. It really is. So I'll give it credit there. It is looking to be fun, looking to be good. And I like the fact it's a different look. It's giving all of us the ability to fly ships that are a little bit different from the norm. If I'm honest, the only thing I'm excited about is the fact that you can see the bridge in there through the side window. Otherwise, I would honestly give this ship a miss. I may try to acquire it myself, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's not one I'll be acquiring to keep. It'll be one that I acquire to review and then discard. That's my honest thoughts on the ship. Cryptic, I'm sorry. I love the look of the ship, but looks isn't... As much as I love the old Space Barbie stuff, it's too expensive to acquire purely for Space Barbie. It is too expensive. The gamble is too high with a 0.4% drop rate. The risk is too great to get it from the lockbox. Guys, my recommendation, if you want this ship, get the keys, sell it on the exchange. Sell the keys on the exchange, should I say, and try to acquire this ship from the exchange, just as I will be doing, because she's not worth the gamble. She's not worth the risk. She's not worth £200, £300 to try and get her. She's a great ship DPS-wise, but be smart, take care of your money, and that's my final thoughts on this ship. Final score? 7 out of 10, and I'm being generous. Look-wise, I'll give it a look score, 9 out of 10. But 7 out of 10 is my stat score for her. I do like the fact that she has so many universal bridge officer positions. That is her greatest. That is the greatest ability, combining her maneuverability with firepower and those bridge officer positions. That's her defining advantage. But that really supports DPS only. Now, with this being said, thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you taking the time. I'm sorry I've done this in a very haphazard way, and I'm literally just doing as someone insulted me once before. I do apologise for that laziness. Hopefully you look forward to seeing the ship in-game. I look forward to seeing people flying her. I think it will be kind of fun to watch. Vanity shields on this ship I think are going to be quite funny. And I hope that you will all stay safe. To my extremely generous Patreons, donators, Twitch subscribers seen on screen, guys, a massive thank you, and I hope you don't mind, because I'm going to continue to shout you out whenever I do any proper stats reviews or visual reviews. I'm going to keep shouting you guys out because you guys are legends. Thank you. Until next time, everyone, don't forget to check out my description for links. And remember, live long and prosper. And always try to be better than you was yesterday. Ciao for now.